So today's actually really exciting to me. In all the paramotor flights I've ever had, with the exception of the Icarus like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I've never gone anywhere. Like all of my flights, I've launched from different places, but I mostly just launch and land, a few feet away from where I launched. I have a friend who lives north of Durham. It's about 35 miles from here, and it's a terrible place to drive to. Like, it really sucks. If you go like south of this big lake, it's construction and traffic and yuckiness. If you go north of it, it's all really indirect roads, like bumpy, curvy, turny country roads, like lots of stop signs and stuff. But as the crow flies, that could be interesting. So I've been planning this for a while now. Like, I've had this as a pipe dream where it's like, hey, I could fly over to you, we'll fly together, and then I'll fly back. Just there and back is like 70 miles, so that's a lot to me. He has more fuel for me. And then there will be, some more. Today might be like a 90-mile day for me, which would maybe be a record, I don't know. I don't know, I'm gonna get set up, and I got a super full tank of gas. I got my speed bar on. We'll see how that works out. And I just want to make sure I'm set up for success. I'm heavy with all the stuff I'm bringing, but it should be okay. I think I've got this all figured out. I have waypoints in my phone, and I range the waypoints near a lot of like solid ground markers, because I'm not that good at navigating yet. And I want to make sure I can kind of see what I'm doing in addition to like following the phone. Whew. Let's get ready. All right. I got my paramotor all ready to go. This strobe, hopefully it's pointed at it, should get me an extra half an hour of legal flight time on the way home. There's areas on this flight where are going to be over water, so that's flotation. The number one killer in paramotors is drowning. You'd think it'd be hitting the ground, but it's not. It's actually drowning in the water. I could talk about it in length, but it does kind of make sense. When those wings hit the water, they pull on you, and there's no pulling against it. It's so big. Nothing left to do but to do it. I'm expecting this launch to be a little spicy. You can see that windsock kind of rocking, and then tall trees all around, and it's kind of uphill, so the wind like comes over. And but I launch from here a lot, so hopefully I get it all figured out and I do a good job. Whoa. Sorry if you missed it, but that was a spicy takeoff. I ran, hit sink, ran some more, hit sink again, and then finally I got up, but only like a foot for a while. It was like, I'm glad I'm up. One more lap, and then head out across the trees and go on my way. I just get some altitude over the house. The yard looks good. Yeah, I should be pointing at it. We just mowed it, so you can see the pattern. That terrible spot in the back, we're going to put a pool there. So, that'll be nice. Alright. Woo! Spicy takeoff! Oh! Wowzers! I feel this relief. Now that I've got about 750 feet of altitude, I should have more. So, I need to go that way. And you may notice there's some houses, but there's a river that leads to a lake. so I can find some, lift. I can find some uncongested space as I follow a river to a lake. I'll tune back with you guys shortly, but right now, I'm just going to be rocking on a big journey. Woo! So, the foam cover blew off my mic, so there might be too much wind noise. But do you see that plane over there? Well, there's an airport over there, a major one, RDU. It's the big Raleigh-Durham airport. And I'm staying out of their airspace, and I spent hours watching air traffic along my intended path, and I should be okay. Nobody went below 3,000 feet in the whole time I watched, and I intend to stay at 2,000 feet, so that's like 1,000 feet of play. I'm going to head north, so that, because they should be coming from the north, so the further north I go, the higher their altitude will be, given that they're going from north to south and they're headed down or up. Anyway, this is the sketchiest part of the whole flight. I'm crossing water, and there really aren't a lot of safe outs. I mean, there's something here, but it gets a little sketch. If you can make out those power lines over there, that's my first waypoint. I'm going to turn left and then follow those power lines for like 20 miles, and they head to the northwest. So I just need to follow those. They're nice because obviously right under the power lines is not congested airspace, and they're a nice thing that I can follow. And then near power lines tend to be little pieces of civilization, like farms and such. Whoa! That I could use as emergency landings if I have to. So anyway, so far so good. I'm doing really well with the bumps, mentally. I'm staying positive. I'm happy. I'm learning. I'm building some more trust in my wing. And I don't know, the version of me just 2 weeks ago, I think would really be freaking out right now. And the version of me right now is just this is well within the limits of my equipment and I think I said that right. Or me and my equipment, but I think it's my equipment and I. So I'll turn you guys off and just head on, keep on going. This should be Durham Road, and this should be where I pick up the service line and follow it for a while. Alright, so where the power lines meet I-85 here, that's my waypoint. I'm getting pretty far. So now I need to head straight west, roughly into the sun, and I should find my friend. I'm getting somewhere. Alright. I hope I'm filming. I can't really hear my camera. But I think that car is going to be my friend. I can't see much about it, but I think I see a windsock sticking up from a car. And that would be really handy. And it's a dude walking around. So I think I'm here. And I'm going to buzz around the farm for a little bit, see what I'm looking at. And if all goes well, I'll come in for a landing and hang out with my friend. Woohoo! A little bit bouncy. But that would have freaked me out 3 weeks ago. And now this just do way better with turbulence than I did not long ago. So I'm going to take a pass around his windsock here and see what there is to learn, and then set up for a landing. So bouncing. Ah! All right, safe landing. Hey!
I can't believe you made it, man. Isn't the wind insane? Isn't the wind like crazy strong?
I don't know.
Oh, look at that. It has been here. I thought, he'll be calling me anytime now. Let me know. He's had to turn around, ran out of time.
No, it's... Let me get unbuckled here. I got it.
Yep.
Put that here. Tuck those through there. Good deal. Oh, I'm recording. Okay, good. All right, so we've been more or less successful. The thing that didn't go great was, I wish I got here sooner. I left about, I think 10-15 minutes later than I intended to, and the flight took about 15 minutes longer than I thought it would. So that half an hour burned up a lot of the time that I wanted to fly with him. Rather than just launch straight into the air immediately, we opted to hang out, have a drink of water, stuff like that. So now it's 7, which means I have to leave. I think it's almost 7. I have to leave about right away so that I could get home by 8:15, which is a half hour after sunset, which with my strobe is totally legal. So I'm gonna get cooking. All right, so something a little fishy happened. On launch, my speed bar hit my prop. So just to be clear, what hit my prop was actually the sister clip on the speed bar. The way it works is you put your feet on that big black bar, and that pulls these 2 strings, ropes, and changes the orientation of your wing that makes it go faster. I can show you in detail another time. The part that clips into your wing is on the right. You see those small metal clips on the end of the string? They clip into your wing. I am sure that I clipped it in. I have a distinct memory of doing it. I like, you know, sometimes you remember that you did a thing. Like, I remember it, not just like, oh, I always do it, but like I remember the detailed steps. And then when you launch a paramotor, you put your thumbs in the risers. And I remember that I had to take extra care to grab the risers in such a way that I didn't, like the speed bar wouldn't interfere with my thumbs, because I don't use the speed bar very much, and I had to think it through. So I remember clipping it in, and I remember seeing it clipped in because I paid extra attention to the way I grabbed the risers. Somehow, some way, they came unclipped. I'm not sure what it was. One theory is I was using the speed bar from my Ramaflex wing, and I was using an ozone wing. So maybe that mismatch made them not like guaranteed to stay connected. I don't know exactly. But anyway, let's carry on. It feels balanced. Everything feels fine. But it worries me because, stuff tore up down there. I know I hooked it in. I'm positive I hooked it in. But it came unhooked. I don't like that. I don't know. I guess I screwed up. So I stopped the motor in mid-flight, inspected the prop, and it looks okay. So I'm going to try and push home for an hour or so, and wish me the best. If the prop starts feeling unbalanced in flight, then I'll land out and call home or something. Wish me luck. So, a little bit nervous about different stuff. Well, the speed bar grip, this thing right here. Sadly, the video ends there. I don't know what to tell you. There was no more on the camera. I would have shown you more. It just stops. But what was going is my watch. My watch has this GPS thing built into it, and it tells me my altitude. And this includes the time we spent sitting around drinking water. So I think my average speed is wrong there. I know that 4 hours, 16 minutes thing, that's probably wrong too. But the other stuff is right, like the distance we covered, the amount of ascent and descent and things like that, how high I got. It was a big flight for me. I don't know if it was my biggest flight day ever because I did that thing in Florida, but the Icarus thing, but it might have been my biggest flight day. I'd have to check my logs. It was definitely a growth opportunity for me. Like I have this tendency to bond with inanimate objects as they serve me well. And I'm getting super bonded with, I have a new wing, Ozone Speedster 2, and I'm loving that thing. And I'm flying in bumpy conditions and smooth conditions. I'm, practicing my acro, doing all that fun stuff with it. And I'm learning to trust it, and it's serving me well. And I'm just in my Paramotor. I have an Air Conception Nitro 200. It was a big test for it. I was flying over water. I was flying over areas that you shouldn't really do. Where I didn't always have a landing spot. I didn't always have a good out. I would go from one landing zone to the other, but I didn't want to be at 3,000 feet because there's that big airport and, you have to make decisions. So, there were times when I was like, God, you better not quit right now because I'll be making use of the flotation devices I attached. But all my equipment served me well and it made me feel good. And I am growing as a pilot. It was just a big win altogether. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll kick it to the outro now, and we'll buy some new foam windscreen stuff for the next video.
Multi-million-dollar deals, got $1 million deal. When I was younger, I would wonder how $1 million feel. And for real, it feel like I ain't even broke a seal. Cause when you drop hits, they want you to pick up the bill. Now my life is in Maryland, my heart is in Chicago. New York state of mind, but out LA, man, that's where I go. When I need to lay this shit down, so much on my mind.